Good evening, my folks. Thank you for coming back to another Tony Montana video. I hope you're doing well. Give me some energy. I'm here with the heat. Although it's night, it's still super hot, but I'm dealing with it because I'm a man. I'm not the type of or looking for air conditioners. We got air conditioning in the room because I do want to sleep in the cool, but I don't have to be in the cool when in the daytime. I deal with it. But at night, yeah, I definitely want to be in like a 50-degree room. But anyway, let's get to the topic of conversation here. All right, we are going to talk about inbreeding. I'm not sure if you've listened to another video of inbreeding. I'm gonna just give it my own spin about inbreeding. And then I know you got a lot of guys about inbreeding. You hear it in American people. Terry, inbreeding and line breeding are just normal things. Are just standard practice for many of them, for many people that breed, the breeders. You can see it in many pedigrees, in many champion dogs that you see a level of line breeding or inbreeding that that made them famous, or I guess the genetics made a great dog, and they became famous, and they created their own lines, whatnot. But let's talk about inbreeding and what the defects can be, the positives, and all that good stuff. Okay, let me start with the defects. The defects obviously could start with the physical, structural of the animal. They can, at birth they could come, and these are defects that are visual, that you can clearly see this at birth. There's other things that you have to wait until they're like 2 years, 2.5 years, but we'll get to those. Right now, let's say physical ones that you could get from inbreeding. It's when you create genetic mutations that physically are expressed in joints, probably like born with messed up legs, bow-legged, cowhocks, and whatever, splat feet, whatever else you could think of that will be a structural defect, which will ultimately cause that particular dog to not be able to work normal, not to be able to work to their fullest because they were born with these defects. Okay, well, other type of defects that could be created or enhanced or perpetuated because of inbreeding would be things like health issues, heart problems, lung problems, kidney problems, all the kinds of problems. I know you guys that have done inbreeding, and you have seen those type of issues. I'm sure you could chime in the comments, give your thoughts about this topic. We are here. I'm opening you. If you have your own channels and you want to talk about it in your channel, go ahead. I'm not the type of person to be like, oh, yo, you chopping, man. You're copying me. You copying me, man. You're on my grill. Nah, man. Just we all together. Even if we have issues, man, channels that we have issues, go ahead. If you think this is a good topic, or I said it wrong or whatever, give your own spin, give your own thought, give your maybe I didn't say it right, maybe you misinterpret it, and you want to say what you feel, bro. This is the way to improve, enhance the community. Even again, I don't have to like you, but if you're doing, if you're giving positive, if you're giving information to the public and it's not just drama, if it's not drama, man. But if your channel is all about drama, man, you gotta focus on the dogs, focus on yourself, focus on something you want to say aside from making drama. But anyway, let's continue on. I already said, issues with the health. I already said the physical, like structural, and the health. I said the heart, lung, whatever can, and then we go into worse cancers. You could, this inbreeding can cause the dogs to because again, this is when you're inbreeding, you might be doubling up on defects on the genes that are flowed, because again, in order for you to show those issues outward, there has to be two corruptions of the gene. because we have our bodies, all the animals, we have two copies, and if it's one is faulty, the other one works. But if there's both of them are faulty, then then you get issues, health issues, and when you inbreed, you're increasing those chances, increasing the chances that you're doubling up on those genetic defects, or those genetic flaws, corruption, mutation, whatever you want to use, whatever word you want to use. Okay, so out of all these defects, like I mentioned at the beginning, some of them you could see from birth. You could see those defects from birth. You can see the splat feet, or you might be all the type of physical issues. A lot of times you could see it from birth or from very young, into puppyhood. But there's others that you have to wait a couple of years, 2 years, 3 years for those bigger issues to pop and have developed into a big problem that now you're able to see it. Okay, so these are the reasons why a lot of these other breeds, a lot of these breeds that were supposed to be working breeds that are big size, medium to big size, they go through. If you notice their and I'm not talking about American People Terrier breeders or websites. I'm talking about other breeds. You'll see that they'll when they're advertising their dogs, advertising their pets, breedings, they'll mention the parents and mention their hip test results and all kinds of physical. Whoa, sorry about that. Whoa, take it easy, camera. Take it easy. Hey. Anyway, they show you all these results because these dogs have not been worked for generations, and so they need to be tested for these issues that can pop up, not just because of inbreeding or line breeding, just for the fact that they were not worked, so they may have a double up of those defects. Now, why does people breeders do this? Why don't they? And many of the breeders today should be doing it. They should be doing it. They should be doing it. Why should they be doing it? Because if these dogs are not worked, if the dogs are if they don't go through some sort of grind like they used to back in the day, and you're not testing the physical, the heart, the lungs, the physical structure, everything to do with the machine, you don't run the car. Like people want to compare the dogs to cars, so I'm gonna just do it for this time. If you don't run the car, you don't know, and you don't for different things, you don't put in you don't have to race it in the street. You could race it in the track, but I'm not talking about anything illegal. I'm just talking about the car, just for that to see if anything breaks, if the material, the components in that in that car were not of the best, it's gonna break instead of having good quality. So anyway, you have to do these tests for this breed, and a lot of these people that are doing breeding these dogs and not doing anything with them, like getting them stretch those physical issues. See if something shows up, dogs start limping out of the blue, or other things, like the dog over something, legs are all wobbly, boom, and then you have to carry home. Then there's a problem, but you would have never found out if he didn't walk that 2 hours, because you needed the dog to be at some point physically, and so it's no joke. Anyway, let's continue now. Let's talk about and I already mentioned that some of these are you could see at birth, but then some of them you see at 2-3 years old. Obviously, cancers are usually those that you have to wait a little longer to see or find out, or the body starts giving you an indication that the body has cancer, and that's when you find out. Oh, the vet tells you. But anyway, let's now look at the positives of inbreeding and line breeding. Okay, one of the things that are positive is it improves your uniformity in the look of the dogs that come out of there, and you continue to breed. You enhance the uniformity of those dogs. They start looking the same. They start behaving the same, and they have up to a certain point they have the same personality. Now I did mention behavior and personality. Okay, So people might say, "Oh, it's the same thing." No, but I completely disagree. They're related, but they're not the same thing. Okay, personality is what the dog or the person is. That's what they comes out of the package. That's the personality. The behavior is how the dog acts at that particular moment, or the acts upon certain things. That's their behavior. Their personality is something else, and the personality can help. You can help change the behavior, help the dog react a certain different than their natural behavior would have been, but it's very limited. And here, obviously, and I already mentioned, that the dog. I already mentioned the differences. I think so. I think the behavior can be directed or indirected, but personality really is ingrained, and it's harder to change the behavior because of personality. By the personality. Dog aggression is the best thing I could think about. Dog aggression, you have to really, you can kind of like help redirect when they see a dog, because then you can learn to redirect it at the right time. If you know your dog and you catch it, you might be able to redirect it. But maybe when it comes to a dog that he sees, instead of seeing a little dog, now he sees a bigger dog, and that dog is barking and going acting all crazy, then that's when the modification of that behavior you're trying to do, that's when it stops, and that's when you're saying, you have to say, acknowledge that's just the dog's genetic personality, that you can't change that. You really can't you can't make a dog fly because you want to. It just doesn't work that way. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. These dogs are tired. Oh, I'm gonna mention what I mentioned in Spanish. See how I'm getting more cages. These are small cages. I'm trying to split the dogs more, so that, but I'm still keeping them somewhat close together, and seeing them each other. I have other type of cages that are like what they call them, the plastic ones, the ones that you use to for airplanes. I have one of the big ones for that for them. Again, these are just, I'm trying to make sure that when the people get these dogs, my buddies and friends and family, they don't have such a problem. Obviously, everybody will have to do their own little training, because when they move the environment, you are also going to change how the dog behaves. I understand the personality. I'll tell each one the dog's personality, and I've molded the behavior here in my house. Like I said, they don't go for the most part, they don't go to the bathroom anywhere but where I show them. But when the environment changes, the behavior will also may also change, and the person will have to again redirect or direct them correctly, so that and they'll be able to learn faster. They go, yeah, I remember this, and they will go into that mode that I'm teaching them. Also, I'm teaching them not to be barkers. I don't tolerate barkers. You could bark outside. You could, I let them bark if they see dogs in the park. Go ahead. That's your moment to shine and feel tough. Yeah, as long as you're not close by, and people like giving you faces because they don't understand that, they're dogs. They're dogs. As long as nothing happens, they're just dogs. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. This is Tony Montana. Till next time.